Speaker, I'd like to yield 7 minutes to Dr. Gingrey of Georgia.
Mr. Speaker, the unanimous consent to revise and extend my remarks.
Without objection.
Mr. Speaker,
recognized for 7 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I rise today in strong support of our troops who are faithfully serving our nation in harm's way. Therefore, I must oppose this resolution brought to the floor by the Democrats because it offers no plan, no strategy, and no hope for victory. In fact, it does nothing but risk demoralizing our troops. Mr. Speaker, let me start by saying that Republicans and Democrats alike recognize mistakes have been made in Iraq, and neither side of the aisle is happy with where we are today. But rather than offering solutions to move us forward, or engaging in a productive debate on alternative strategies, the Democrats have decided to propose what certainly seems to be a politically motivated resolution. I ask, Mr. Speaker, what are we really accomplishing with this resolution? The answer is nothing. With this shameless stunt, the Democrats are locking down this body for 36 hours, maybe in hopes of scoring political points by criticizing the president. But by using our troops as pawns in an attempt to gain political leverage, this resolution serves only to weaken troop morale while giving hope and comfort to the enemy. And in doing so, Mr. Speaker, the Democrats have done nothing to end the war or help our troops achieve victory. Mr. Speaker, seeing as the Democrats have hijacked the floor all week to debate this resolution, surely they must have an alternative to the president's plan. I'll bet the American people are as eager as I am to hear about this new plan for success, their plan. Certainly my constituents in the 11th of Georgia are waiting. So what is their magic alternative? Mr. Speaker, here it is. It's the same on both sides. They don't have one. We have heard from members of the Democratic team threaten to cut funding, to cap troop levels, or compel a forced withdrawal. But where are those ideas in this resolution? I've read through its 2 brief paragraphs, and I can assure you they aren't to be found. Sadly, the Democrats lack the political will to fully engage in a meaningful debate on Iraq policy. They have refused to allow a vote on funding for the war, which would give members an opportunity to show support for our troops with actions and not empty words. Simply put, Mr. Speaker, the Democratic leadership is afraid to ask their members to put their money where their mouths are and either vote yes or no to fund our troops and the mission. Isn't this why that they've denied Republicans an opportunity to offer an alternative bill or even a motion to recommit? They were for that last Thursday before being against it tonight. Sound familiar? Apparently, Mr. Speaker, calls for funding cuts and troop withdrawals are good enough for newspaper headlines, but they're not good enough for votes on this House floor. Let me remind my colleagues that sound bites for the nightly news will do nothing to win this war against terror. Mr. Speaker, America has a long tradition of standing on the right side of this fight for freedom, even when it is a difficult stand to make. And the right course of action today is to stand by the Iraqi people until their government, their police and military can ensure the security of their own nation. As in any war, there have been setbacks in Iraq, but as in past wars, we will move forward with victory as our goal. This Democratic resolution is a thinly veiled attempt to sound the retreat, and that amounts to an unacceptable act of playing politics with our national security. Mr. Speaker, as you have heard over the past 2 days, this is a serious debate with very serious ramifications. It is not simply a resolution, a simple resolution, I think the Democrats would like to characterize it. But on one hand, we have a shot at victory. We have an opportunity to push back the cause of radical terrorism. On the other hand, we have a 2-paragraph, non-binding resolution that's essentially a vote of no confidence in the commander-in-chief. This is not the time for our majority party to cave in to their anti-war supporters of the liberal left and play politics with the security of the United States. This is a time for bold leadership and bold plans. Sadly, Mr. Speaker, neither is on display here today. I hope, for the sake of the American people, our troops, and freedom-loving nations around this world, that this resolution's flimsy words are not taken as a substitute for America's long tradition and commitment to achieving victory. Mr. Speaker, in closing, I want to point out to my colleagues this poster on my left. These brave soldiers, Paul Sailors from Bremen, Georgia, Justin Johnson from Rome, Georgia, Lieutenant Tyler Brown, Georgia Tech graduate, president of the student body, Hayes Clayton III from Marietta, Georgia, all died for their country. Mr. Speaker, we could not turn our backs on them. We could not say to their moms and dads, their brothers and sisters, their wives and their children, that we supported sending them in harm's way, and they gave their lives for their country, and now we're saying it was for naught, it was for nothing, it was not worth it. We can't let that happen, Mr. Speaker. I want my colleagues on both sides of the aisle join with me in voting down this meaningless resolution, and I yield back.